Hello, space fairies. I stole a rug. Here it is. Here's the rug I stole. It was somewhere else, and now it's here in my bedroom. Oh my god, there's a story here, I hear at least one of you saying. And you're right. This is the story of how I stole a rug. Also, why I stole a rug. Title card. Let's have a title card. I stole a rug. First of all, I was like 15. Little 15-year-old Chloe the criminal. Oh, just look at her. She's a menace to society. At this point in my life, as an accidental villain, I had already partaken in smuggling. But, that's a story for another day, unless I've already told it. I honestly can't remember. Anyway, bit of backstory. Backstory. My family and I, mostly me and my brother, there we are, had this one hotel in Turkey that we really liked a whole bunch, so we went back for 1 week every single summer. It was this relatively cheapish, small, family-run place, and they always had the same staff every single year because it was kind of one big family. And so whenever we went back, we always all remembered each other, and it was so friendly and welcoming, and the hotel's motto was even, "Your home in Antalya." It's important to note that they had this logo, which was a sunset, and it was on everything. It was on the towels, umbrellas, curtains, plates, everything. Trees. It wasn't on the trees, but it was on the tree plant pots. We loved that hotel. It was our hotel. The sunset logo thing was even on this big neon sign on the roof. So when you were miles away from it, you could still see it and it was beckoning you home. Your home in Antalya. I wrote fanfic about this hotel. That is a true fact. And it really did have so much sentimental value because this was a place that saw me grow up and it saw my family change again and again. It was where I had my first crush when I was 11 and also where I had my second crush when I was 12. Also, where I had my third crush when I was 13. It was like a weird and stable constant in my life. And I'm really just trying to stress how much this place meant to me because then everyone will feel more comfortable with me later committing a crime. Speaking of, let's skip ahead. It's the summer of 2005. I am 15 years old. We go back to our home in Antalya and everything's changed. It turns out the family we loved who ran the hotel had to sell the hotel, and now it's owned by this massive Russian chain who have basically extreme makeover hotel editioned the whole place and made it a clone of all their other hotels. I mean, sure, they installed this cool new fountain in the lobby, but they also fired everybody, and I mean everybody, all the staff, all the waiters and cleaners and receptionists and entertainers and gardeners and lifeguards and all the people who had been there for years, they just up and replaced them with random people all in these creepy identical white uniforms. And I mean, sure, they were all qualified for the job, but they were strangers and they didn't speak any Turkish in Turkey. And then why did I spend 3 years learning Turkish to speak to my Turkish friends? And the more we explore, the more we realise just how much has changed. They have stripped the hotel of all identity. The sunset logo is gone. Now there's just this catastrophe. So my brother and I, we're pretty bummed out. But then one day, I'm just wandering around the main building. I'm exploring the area, I'm scoping it out, I'm literally doing a sweep of the building, floor by floor, having a little adventure. And guys, that is when I see it. The Holy Grail. There are 2 elevators in the main building, and outside of the left elevator, on the 6th and highest floor, there it was. An original hotel rug with the sunset. Unnoticed and untouched, just proudly shining against the pristine fresh paint and new floors. Right there and then, I make a decision, and that decision turned into a plan. And that plan starts with me turning around and walking away. Let's jump ahead. It's our last night in the hotel. So as a family, we're waiting in the lobby for the shuttle to the airport. The receptionist comes along and tells us that the shuttle to the airport is due in about 5 minutes, and I spring into action. I tell my family I'm going to the bathroom. They don't need to know what's going on. I'm about to commit the crime of the century and they need plausible deniability, and that's why they need to believe I'm going to the bathroom, which is why I go into the right-hand elevator. I take the elevator all the way down to the basement where the toilets are, and that is when I switch into the left-hand elevator and I ride it all the way up to the 6th floor. As the lift climbs, I open my rucksack. The lift slows as it reaches the top and we're on the 6th floor and the doors open with a ping. There's the rug. I lean forward, I pull the rug into the lift, and the doors close. The whole operation took less than 4 seconds. In the 20 or so seconds it then takes to get back to the basement, I roll up the rug, I stuff it into my rucksack, we reach the basement, I switch back into the right-hand elevator and I ride that back up to the lobby where our shuttle has arrived. So I step out of the lift, walk right out of the hotel, and straight onto the bus without looking back. Mission accomplished. I say without looking back, we actually did return to the hotel for a couple of summers afterwards, but they never suspected a thing. It's now been just over a decade since I last went back, and I recently found out that the Russian company that bought it went bankrupt a few years ago, and so the hotel got bought again by an even bigger company and turned into a golf resort. So now, yeah, only millionaires can visit it. It feels weird to have a place feel so important but so forgotten. And I've of course since put my whole life of crime behind me. But I'll always have the evidence. I'll always have the sunset.